election was yesterday. All the votes were counted. A big majority of, far-right parties, got the seats, which, I'm personally not too hyped about. But with the exception of, I'm pretty sure, both Sweden and Finland, who gained seats for the left and the Greens, which, that's a historic first. Pretty interesting to see. I will try to go away from politics because I'm sure you don't give a single about the goings in Europe when trying to relax. Nothing more calming than politics, am I right? Oh, yeah. Right next to me I have the a CD for Is This It by The Strokes. I got it secondhand a few weeks ago. Because, it is one of my all-time favorite albums, and I do like to, have physical media when I can, because I'm generally not the biggest fan of, streaming services and such. So it's nice to have. However, picture this. I'm scrolling through, or, I'm browsing through all of the CDs they have. I find this amazing album. I go to the counter, buy it for, I think it was like €5 or €7, which granted is not much, but it is a part of my hard-earned money, and I'd rather not waste it. But I go to the counter, I pay for it, everything's fine. A few hours later, I walk to my car, cause gotta get home, and I can't wait to play some amazing tunes on the way home, and boom, the CD one is broken. It just doesn't work. No sound, nothing. It doesn't register as a disc. So that's sad, and that blows. Luckily, the second part does work, consisting of Oh yeah. This doesn't tell, but I assume it's Last Night. Hard to explain. New York City cops trying your luck and Take It or Leave It. Which, I mean, they're all amazing songs, don't get me wrong, but I would like the entire album if I, pay for it. And of course, because it's a second-hand shop, they won't accept refunds. So, that wasn't my greatest day, to say the least. I'm trying to come up with something, anything to talk about, because, quite frankly, I did not come prepared to this. I just grabbed my microphone, screwed it loose from the stand right there, and hit record. Probably could have grabbed some material for me. You know what? I'll just talk about some shows I've been watching recently, because what else is there to talk about? A friend of mine recommended I but watch the Midnight Gospel. Yeah. Which is a animated, I feel it might be a Netflix original, show by Duncan something. I think it's comprised of spoilers for those who haven't seen it, but the main character, which is, animated version of Duncan, he is early in the show extremely obsessed with just the spiritual part of life, to the point where he, avoids all forms of the physical aspects of life, essentially, and essentially tries to say that it's because of his, Buddhist ideals. But what I kind of liked, because I was in the beginning a bit skeptical about it, because, I've taken a few courses here and there, so I'm not a complete idiot when it comes to religion and those sorts of things. But to my I can't find the word that I'm looking for, but I was happy to see that he actually addresses that later, and that the character realizes that a sort of balance between the spiritual and the physical is really what Buddhist thinking embodies. So it wasn't just, meditate and you'll be fine forever, because I was a bit scared that it would go to that. But in general, it has some pretty good life advice. It touches on some pretty heavy topics, and I do recommend you watch it, but remember to think for yourself